Oh,
We're almost there. Meanwhile, we'll put it up. Share screen. There's chat. Okay. There we are. Beautiful. Thank you, Reb Michal. We're on, and we're gonna put it on the share screen. Here. Bingo. Bingo. Okay, there we are. Share screen. Okay. Okay, there we are. Okay. So he said, even if they take your life, and when he said the word echad, his soul went up. Now, at that moment, Amru Malachi Asharis, this is where we're up to, the number 10 in the Savayu. So after Rabbi Akiva was tortured to death and his soul left his body as he recited the word echad with perfect love of Hashem and joy in the opportunity to sacrifice his life for Hashem. So Amru Malachi Asharas Lefnei Kodesh Baruch Hu, the holy ones, the holy angels, the ministering angels said before the Almighty, Zo Torah v'Zuschara. This is Torah, this is its reward. For 80 years, Rabbi Akiva devoted himself to the Torah, and this is its reward. So, as it says, Mimsim Yodcha Hashem, Mimsim,
what is Mims?
Mimsim from death, from your hand, Hashem, your of death, Mimsim. In other words, your hand doesn't, it only kills, it doesn't save. Amar Lahem. Chelkam b'chaim, the end of the pasuk in Tilim Yud Zayin, that their portion is in life. In other words, in the life in the world to come. Yatzis abaskol v'yomro, a heavenly voice went out and said, Ashrecha Yisrael, praised are you, Rabbi Akiva, Shatam Azuman l'chayim haba, that you are designated for life in the world to come. So this is this is the Zohar says that there's no that in Gan Eden, in the life of the world to come, there is no heichal, there is no place higher than that of those who gave their lives for the sanctification of Hashem's name. There is no higher place. Even the greatest tzaddikim do not reach this level. Indeed, Rabbi Yosef Karo, it was told by his Maggid, he had this angel who used to speak to him from time to time. So Yosef Karo was told as follows, that he should have merited to give his life for Al Kiddush Hashem, to sanctify Hashem's name. But because he didn't merit, he merely got to write the Shulchan Aruch, which the Jewish people use for all the generations. So from this we see that even the most important Torah scholar is on a lower level than the person, however simple, who gives their life for Hashem's name. Okay, your question, Yossela.
Two dots indicate opinion.
In beginning of a new topic, yes. So now we move back to the Mishnah.
He was not a mystic.
No, there's the Osiot Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva was known to be.
All right, let's get.
Rabbi Yosef Kar was a major mystic. He wrote. There's the book.
There's nothing mystic about the Shulchan Aruch.
No, but he wrote other books. He has the Maggid Mesharim, which is a discussion with his Maggid, with his angelic interlocutor. No, there's very Kabbalistic stuff from Yosef Karo.
So,
though it is told that when him and Arizal lived in Tzfat at the same time,
15th century,
16th,
16th.
they lived in the Tzfat at the same time. Rabbi Yosef Karo was born, I think, 1480. So at any rate, so they lived in Tzfat at the same time, and Rabbi Yosef Karo used to go to the Arizal's lectures, his shiurim, but at a certain point he would fall asleep. And Rizal told him that's because your neshama is primarily related to the revealed plane of the Torah, not the hidden. So certain things you can't hear, but nevertheless, there's a whole mystical work, the Maggid Mesharim, by him. Okay, then, so now we move on to the rest of the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that a person should not act frivolously and disrespectfully, even outside the Temple Mount, if he's facing the eastern gate, because the eastern gate faces the Kodesh HaKadoshim. So, and by the way, if you go to the Temple Mount,
tunnel,
right?
Right.
Well, there was a gate. There was a gate on ground level, but that so now we're at the western wall, which is behind. If you go all the way to the other side, there's not much left. But there was a gate on the east that faced directly to the Heichal. So when you're lo yakeles rosho keneged shara mizrach, one should not act frivolously facing the eastern gate of the Har HaBayit because it's facing directly to the Holy of Holies.
So that's why they stopped probably digging the tunnel there, because they say that's where the
tunnel was right under
Kodesh was. So I imagine they.
Well, there's no issue with being underneath. The issue is the Arabs dug tons of tunnels, anyways. Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav. Rav Yehuda said in the name of Rav, Lo Amar L'Minatzofim Lifnim. It's only talking about from Mount Scopus and within Uvero, and if you see the eastern gate. In other words, you can tell jokes anywhere you want, but once you're on Mount Scopus and you can see the Har HaBayit and you can see the eastern gate, then you should act respectfully. In other words, if you can see it, if you see it from beyond Mount Scopus, that's so far away, it's no issue. But from Mount Scopus and further and closer to the temple, one should not. Itmar Nami, we learned in the Mishnah and the teachings of the sages of the Talmud similarly. Amar Rabbi Abba, Rabbi Abba said in the name of Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Hachi Amar Rabbi Yochanan, and so said Rabbi Yochanan. Lo Amar L'Natzofim Lifnim. Bob, close the door. Lo Amar L'Natzofim Lifnim. We only say this from the Mount Scopus and inwards. Uveroa Shein Geder. Only if you see the opening of the gate where there's no barrier between you and the gate. It was Man Shashkina Shora. And only when the divine presence is there, when the temple is standing. When the temple is not standing, there's no prohibition against being frivolous if you're facing the place where the ruined Eastern gate once was. And by the same token, Tana Rabbanan, we learned in a Bryce, and if Nabi.
So let me ask you a very good question. So in Israel, and I think you're one of them, that wish that we should build the new Beit HaMikdash.
As soon as Mashiach comes, absolutely.
Oh, as soon as the Mashiach comes. So what
Why not
insurance? What insurance do you have that the Shekhinah is going to be there?
If Mashiach comes, the Shekhinah will come with the Beit HaMikdash. There's no question. That were promised in multiple places in the Nevi'im.
When the Mashiach comes,
No,
the
problem is that with we need to know exactly where the altar goes, and we don't know that right now. And we're promised that when Mashiach comes, and a prophet will appear who will tell us where the altar is. You can't build the temple and you know exactly where it goes, and we need a prophet for that because we do not know that right now.
Is the Mashiach coming just for Jews or the whole world?
Mashiach first comes to the Jewish people, but in the process of coming to the Jewish people, the whole world is perfected and becomes good.
Okay.
So ultimately, he comes for the whole world.
It's definitely could be any minute.
Did you say the Eastern Gate?
Absolutely could.
The Eastern Gate was ruined.
Nothing's impossible for God. I'm sorry.
Was the Eastern Gate wasn't one that dropped into the ground? You said it was ruined.
That may have dropped into the ground at the time of the Babylonian conquest, but this was pulled down by the Romans. Everything around the Har HaBayit was pulled down by the Romans except the Western Wall.
So the Western Wall is still part of what?
Most of it, the part you see is either added by the Turks, and the big stones on the bottom that you see are from Herod, from Horus.
Really?
in the tunnels deep down where they dug shafts, they found stones from Shlomo's Beit HaMikdash. Because the Har HaBayit has not changed sizes. They found stones from the first. On the bedrock, there are stones from the first temple.
Even lower than the.
Yeah, more than half the wall is below the level of the plaza.
So why don't they dig it out?
I mean, pull them out. They're not going to pull them out. That would be desecrating the Har HaBayit.
How did they ever move those huge rocks?
Well, and you don't even see the biggest ones. The biggest ones are underground.
And
how
how
They
did
were used many times.
How did they build the?
how did they cut them?
How did they build the pyramids?
They cut the, there's
They
so
cut it in
so
the
let me
rock.
tell you, there is a film of someone in of some South American cutting stone with just a bunch of iron chisels. You put a bunch of chisels in at a certain angle, a row of chisels, and you give them a bang, all of a sudden the whole stone cracks. Because stone is not elastic. There are ways of doing it.
No, but you mean.
Now we're
how did
gonna
they
learn.
do it?
Now
Okay,
we're going to
you
learn that if you go, Yossel, if you go to the bathroom in Israel,
From didn't you watch how they built the pyramids?
Yossela,
They moved
You
them.
also, do you
Let's
know where
learn.
we put the trash?
Toner Rabbanan, Hanifna
Right here.
Yehuda. Someone who goes to the bathroom in Yehuda, which is to the east of Yerushalayim, and this means
Hanifne means.
Nifna means it means to defecate, and it means only if you don't have a bathroom or a wall to stand behind.
Name is Ra.
Myra, if you're going to the bathroom with on an open field, you shouldn't face east-west because that
that's
is in the
opposite
direction
the road.
right. You turn your body north-south. Over Galil, in Galil, which is to the north of Israel, you should only go to the bathroom east-west. Rabbi Yossi permits. Rabbi Yossi says, "La Osra Baroa." It's only forbidden if you can see it. Uvamokan Shem Shem Gader, in a place where there is see the temple, in a place where there's no wall or bathroom, and where the Shekhinah is resting.
How do you even know where is east, west, and whatever?
Yeah, Jews always know because after daven facing east, the Chachamim forbid it. Chachamim hainu Tana Kama.
Austrian.
Right. The sages are the same as the first Tana.
What's Talmud?
Tanakam is the first person we mentioned who says that you can't do it. The sides. In other words, if you're in Judea that's not directly east or west of Jerusalem, do you have to worry? And the Tanakama says no, says yes, you have to worry. You're not allowed to. The Chachamim say it's permitted. Right now, Tanya Idach, we learned in another Bryce. Someone goes to the bathroom in Yehuda, he shouldn't go to the bathroom between east and west, but north and south. And in the Galil, you shouldn't do north and south. Mizrach Amar, east and west is permitted. All out of respect to the temple. Rabbi Yossi permits. Rabbi Yossi says it's only when you're actually seeing the temple. So you don't go to the bathroom in an open field, you're actually looking at the temple. Rabbi Yehuda says when the Beis HaMikdash is existing, it's forbidden. And when the Beis HaMikdash is not existing, it's permitted. Rabbi Akiva forbids in all times, in all cases. You're never allowed to go to the bathroom in open field east and west because the Shekhinah is placed in the west and therefore it is disrespectful. And Rabbi Akiva and Tanakama are the same. No, the difference is outside Israel. According to the Tanakama, you're not allowed to go to the bathroom facing east to west anywhere in Israel. And according to Rabbi Akiva, anywhere on the whole globe.
Akiva said that?
Right. Rabba have a shadin live name Mizrach Amira. Rabba's bathroom that you built the toilet seat out of bricks. He put the bricks between east and west, so he would make sure that he would only go to the bathroom facing north and south. Abaya went and made them north and south to see if Rabba was strict about it or just accidentally. Rabba went and fixed it. Omar, who's painting me? I hold like Rabbi Akiva, it's always usher. Why are you fixing me? But his student just wanted to see if he was serious about it or not. If it was just accidental, it really held that you should not go to the bathroom between east and west anywhere. Okay. So now we're going to learn
now
about
we're
things
on
we
to a
can,
new
62A, yes. And now we're going to learn about things that you can learn from the sages with regards to even the bathroom. You can learn something from that. Tanya, we learned in the Brayso, Rabbi Akiva, Pamas, Rabbi Yeshua, say, I once followed Rabbi Yeshua to the bathroom. I wanted to see what he did in the bathroom so we could learn, because one must learn from sages
I
everything.
thought that's forbidden.
Why?
He went to see how we,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I thought
And I
it's
learned
forbidden.
three-
You don't do that.
And I learned from him three things. I learned that you don't go to the bathroom to east and west.
Okay.
I learned that you don't lift up you don't open your clothing until you're sitting. And I learned that you don't wipe yourself with your right hand, but with the left, because the right hand you use for holy things. A little bit. So instead of laughing, understand that for a Jew, everything connects to Judaism. Everything is holy. And there's not one, no.
You had a stone or.
No. Specifically because the right hand is used to put on tefillin and so on. No, this is highly specific.
Really?
Yes, that's the whole point. That a true pious Jew, everything he does, even going to the bathroom, there's nothing in which Judaism and Torah are not invoked. Everything is thoughtful. Everything is meaningful. Everything is thought of. There's no moment where Judaism does not play a role. That's the point. It's actually a very important point, however strange this sounds to modern ears. Amrlo ben Azai, Ad Khan, he asked the same question as Yossel. So Yossel is in good company.
Yeah.
Amrlo ben Azai said to Rabbi Yeshua, you had such chutzpah to follow your teacher into the bathroom. Amrullah, he responded to him, Torah, it is Torah, because everything is Torah. The lumudani tzarach, I need to learn. There is no such thing as a moment in a Jew's life that isn't connected to the Torah. The idea is modesty, so that you don't pull down your trousers till you're ready, till you're sitting down. Okay.
Be small.
Remember, in those days, they didn't sit on a seat. They crouched, which is much healthier. Which is much healthier, by the way.
If you can.
Yeah, if you physically can. Right.
If you couldn't physically, then you were in deep trouble.
Well, no, that's what's called. You took two sticks with you to support yourself. Okay. Tanya. Okay, no, we're up to here. Here we are. No, so this is the same story. Tanya Ben Azai says, once I followed, Ben Azai learned from him. I followed Rabbi Akiva at the Beis Akisa. I learned three things: that you don't go east to west, you don't pull down your trousers till you're sitting, and I learned you don't clean yourself with the right but with the left. Rabbi Yehuda said that they had such chutzpah. Amalei says Torah, and from him, and I need to learn it. So Ben Azai also learned. So the other story is that Ben Azai was the one who had done so. Yeah, I'll make you room. Oh, I didn't throw this out yet.
Are you done with your drink?
I'll throw it out.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, William, for cleaning up. The table looks 1,000 times better since you started doing it. Now, we don't have crumbs anymore from morning to morning.
1899.
Let me move that again. Thank you, William. There was a great rabbi who used to clean out the holy ark from dust with his beard. So cleaning a shul is a great.
Get your beard back.
Okay. Now this story is even stranger, but again, it's all Torah.
So where are we now?
We're Rav Kahana.
Oh.
No, this is a different Rav Kahana.
Al-Gaga?
Rav Kahana went Gana to say Porye de Rav. He went and hid under Rav's bed to see how Rav is intimate with his wife.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
He didn't want to see, just wanted to hear.
We want to see.
Rav Kahana I know this sounds very strange, but we're dealing with different people. A different one. Kahana, you finished Ben Azai already. No, it's not Al Gaga. It's Gana. Gana means he hid. Rav Kana. It's right after Ben Azai. Yeah, he had Ben Azai. Little Torah Lumen Tzarech right after Ben Azai. Right. No, then there's another whole piece where Ben Azai is the one who's accused of being Meir's Panim. Then Rav Kahana. Rav Kahana, Rav Kahana went, Gana, he hid himself under Rav's bed. Shama, no, he wasn't. He's trying to learn how one behaves in these matters. Poryeh is a bed in Aramaic.
But before that.
Gana means to lie. He lay down under the bed. The Rav, period. Rav was his name. Shamei, he heard the Sach v'Sachak v'Satzrachav, that Rav spoke and made jokes, and then he was intimate. Amalei, Dame Puma the Abba. Rav's name was really Abba. The mouth of Abba sounds like he never tasted a dish. In other words, he sounded far too eager. He's been married for a long time. Amalei Kana Hachat. He says, Kana, you here? Hook, come out. The lava rachar, it's not appropriate to be spying on your teacher. Amalei Torah he v'lumalani tzarech. It is Torah, and I must learn, because everyday behavior is also Torah.
Wait a minute, so what did you learn?
He learned that it's not inappropriate to say nice and romantic things to one's wife, and that it's not inappropriate to make sure that the wife enjoys the experience. That's what he learned. It's actually a very important halacha, which is in Shulchan Aruch. But since Rav never spoke about it, he went to find out on his own. I don't encourage such behavior, but these were different people on a different level. I'm saying I don't. It's for the great and holy people who had lived on a different level. It's not for you or me to do. That's all. But the lesson we have, besides, once Rav Kana did it, we don't have to do it.
So you're saying that to say nice
Well, how
things
do
to
we
your wife?
know?
No, to go hide under the rabbi's bed.
Oh, of course. That's what Herod said about the.
Rabbi,
But for a
okay.
different reason.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know something,
He
Rabbi,
wrote
you
the
gotta
beautiful
get,
story.
But the point is, what we learn from here is that 1 minute, no matter how great and high and lofty a person is, you have to make sure that the personal relations are in such a way that they show consideration for the mood and pleasure of one spouse. And this is something that is enshrined in the code of Jewish law because of this story.
You know what you've got to do, Rabbi?
Yes.
Get your bedpost higher, so I can fit under there.
You are not Rav Kahana. Okay, everyone, have a good day. A good Shabbos, everyone. And we're soon going to finish the tractate. I have to make a big celebration.
Thank you, Rabbi.